right, welcome back to another episode of That 20 Show, where I will be talking to celebrity guests about the things that they went through when they were either in their 20s or they are currently going through when they are currently in their 20s right now. Because, at the end of the day, whether or not you are a celebrity or a non-celebrity, we all go through this exact same things, just at different parts of our lives. And in this episode, I've got a man that is honestly, I would say he needs no introduction. This guy has been on radio for the longest time. He does TV as well. He has the best British accent that I can never, ever do. It is the one and only. It is the one and only Adam C, everybody.
Hey, buddy. You okay?
I am good. Adam, how are you doing?
I'm good. It's quite an apt conversation to have. I was just watching some clips. I don't know if you know, well, I'm sure you're aware who Brad Pitt is. He's doing some home renovation thing, and it was nice to see him in a completely different light, like just Brad Pitt talking, shooting the breeze with some guys. It was nice.
You're right. I think this MCO, it has showed us a lot of different sides from celebrities, big time stars, all these A-listers out there. I've even seen John Krasinski's show as something good. I forgot what is it called? SGL. Some good news. Yeah.
Yes, some good news. Yeah.
I bloody love the content. So, okay, the thing about Adam, right? He is, like I said, he needs no introduction. Like, if I just say Adam C, they know who he is. I don't have to specify what show is he currently doing and whatsoever. But it's a bit difficult to find your age online, Adam. So can you please lay it out there? How old are you actually?
I share the same birthday as Callista, but we are born in separate years. Okay. She is a year younger or 2 years younger than me, but January 13th, 85. So I'm 35 now.
You are 35. Okay.
Yes.
That means it's only been it's been 5 years since you got out of that 20 zone, that decade.
Yeah, 5 years. 5 years and just a little bit because it's still only April now as we're recording.
Okay, so let's backtrack to that decade. I don't know if it was hell or it was a fantastic 10-year for you because, some people, 20s is the year to just constantly make mistakes and you're just like, oh crap, I hate life so much. And then when you're beyond that, you're like, oh my God, life is actually great. Like life begins when you're 30 onwards, But what about Adam C? How was your 20s?
I don't know. I've been thinking a lot recently. Like, probably the best times in your life really are before the 20s. It's actually when you're in school, you're a teenager, you're always with your friends. Those are awesome times. And as you get older, you do find yourself reflecting back onto it. And I don't get to see my friends very often because I didn't go to school here. I went to school in the UK. So I was at boarding school from the age of 8. So I liked it because I liked boarding school. I liked being alone. I've always been very independent, maybe because of that. Kind of an only child. I've got some step siblings as well who are much older than me. So I felt like I've always just kind of tended to my own devices. But the 20s were good as well if you look back on it. But I wouldn't say I knew exactly what I was doing. I wasn't sure what path I was going to take because I was supposed to go back to uni. Came back here when I was 18, so just before my 20s. And I found myself on 8TV by chance. And then I found myself in some radio stations by chance again. And I just sort of stayed in it, but I wasn't sure where I was going, what my career path was going to be. I guess that was my biggest concern, what I was going to be doing. Really.
I'm actually surprised though, because I thought looking at your career path from when you started, it looks very consistent. Radio, TV, events, doing voiceovers.
I was doing it, but what's the long-term vision? That was the question.
Right.
You can live in the now and live in the moment and job offers will come and opportunities will come and you can do all of that. But what's the grand scheme of things? I don't want to be doing I don't want to be introducing like, Ariana Grande and all of that for the rest of my life.
Agreed. That's what I feel as well.
Yeah. But I mean, there are people who can do it. Like, I don't know if you remember Rick Dees.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So he's now retired pretty much. But when he was doing Rick Dees in the Weekly Top 40, he was like in his 50s and 60s.
Oh my God, I can even remember the song, Rick Dees in the Weekly Top 40.
Yes, that's the one. Exactly. It's so ingrained. Everybody knew who Rick Dees was.
Yeah.
Anybody at a certain age and above would know Rick Dees. But the thing is, he was so convincing that he actually sounded like he gave a damn about ex-artist, whoever was current at that point in time, even though he'd been doing radio for decades and he was in his 50s and 60s doing it. So there is a possibility, like if you wanted to, as long as you can make everyone believe it, then yeah, why not? But I didn't want that for myself personally. And
Right.
I wasn't sure where I was going. Yeah.
Hmm. But what was the one thing you actually wanted, like prior to radio and everything? Because you said it was totally unplanned, right?
Yeah. So again, I'm going to cut to just before my 20s. It was Euro 2004. So every 4 years, there was supposed to be one this year as well. They
Hmm.
have a tournament. All the European nations compete. It's
Yeah.
like the World Cup, but just for Europe,
Hmm.
and you have to qualify for it. And that year, Greece won it. And the station I was working on had the rights to air some matches, not all the games.
Right.
Yeah, I was 19, and I did the quickie, which was another show. So we were doing the lead-in to the pre-match show, and I was like, "Wow, this is so cool!" And it was different because we did it
Hmm.
in a pub, and it was broadcast on TV. And I was with Marion Conter, so we were doing that,
Mm.
and then we'd lead into the other hosts. And I was like, "Wow, this is really cool," because I love football, so I felt
Yeah.
I could talk about it. But I was far too young to really do anything. But the
Yeah.
guys who produced that, an independent company, remembered me, so they brought me in. I think it was for Euro 2008. So I did
Hmm.
some studio stuff there, but I was just the side host. The main host was a guy called Jen
Hmm.
from Disney Channel a long time ago,
Okay.
and Malaysian Idol as well.
Hmm.
So he's in Singapore now. So I was just kind of his sidekick, and it was a very casual show. Like we didn't wear suits or anything, but again, I enjoyed it. And then people started asking me to do a bit football here, a bit of football there, all during my
Ah.
20s. And I remember first time I think people really realized I liked football, I was doing some commercials for hits, some promos.
Mm.
So what we do is, if a client pays or we're advertising something, we record the promo for people that don't know. And Arsenal came down and said, "Oh, you should do it because you're perfect, because you like football." Then I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay." So I wrote some scripts and I had some fun with the names, etc. Can't remember exactly who it was, but then I thought, this is something I really like, but how do I
Yeah.
get into it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
that was it really. And
slowly
then
the transition happened, huh?
the transition happened. I got asked to audition for one show. I was doing 2 TV shows and hits at one point, which was really tiring.
Oh my God.
One was a gadget show. Another one, I auditioned for ESPN at the time.
Okay.
And if you know JD from Now He's on Light,
Ah, yes,
he does
definitely. Yeah.
breakfast on Light.
Yeah. Yeah.
So JD and I went in. I'd never met him before. I didn't know him, but we
Uh-huh.
went into audition and they liked our chemistry the best.
Nice.
And we got given the show. So it was a regional show, Football
Right.
Crazy. It was being revamped. It had been
I
around for a while.
think I know that show. I think I watched it when I was a kid. Oh my God.
Yeah, there have been different alliterations of it. So it
Yeah.
was used to be in a studio and shot out of Singapore with a different crew, and then
Right.
with us. So we brought it back and we did it. And then they wanted me to stay on at ESPN, and JD did,
Mm-hmm.
but I joined Supersport. And that's when I started charting what I really wanted to do. This would have been 2011. So I was still in my 20s. I was about 26 at the time. Yeah.
Okay, late 20s, that was when you started seeing things clearer, your
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah. So when you start understanding things as well, like
Yeah.
people having rights to broadcast these matches,
Yeah.
then you start piecing things together. I think before that, you're just like, "Oh, wow, I can do this. All right, let's just jump into it." But
Mm-hmm.
as cool as it would have been to stay at ESPN because of that
Yeah.
name, I thought, you know what? I can build a better future, I felt, with Astro Supersport. I really liked the team. It was in Malaysia, and I haven't looked back since. That was now 9 years ago, and it really is a great team that's grown from strength to strength.
Right. And you did mention this now. You said okay, so basically you had an offer from ESPN, but you still preferred to go with Astro Supersport because of the team and because perhaps the dynamic was better. So you still
Yeah, it was
opted
a
for that.
young team, a fresh team. Quite a few of them actually came from ESPN, so they had
Mm-hmm.
the background, the knowledge on how to do and conduct sports content and
Yeah.
direct and produce, etc. So that was really good.
So that whatever happened to you back then, I think some of the young adults now can also relate to that because sometimes it's like they get a good offer, but at the same time they
Yeah,
kind of prefer being in perhaps a company that they're already in. They feel like, oh my
yeah.
God, the chemistry is there. The colleagues are great and they love their job. So that contemplation definitely happens. So did you ever go through that moment of like, oh crap, this is hard, man. I mean, ESPN is a big deal. Who doesn't want to work there? But at the same time, as just with sport, I just love being here as well. Did you ever have that one moment of just like sitting down and thinking about it?
I had to work hard at it. Everyone thought that I just sort of like felt like a natural fit because when I started on Supersport, I already been doing it for 7, 8 years, hosting.
Ooh,
Lots of
wow.
radio experience. So that's live experience, which is crucial. No
Yeah.
scripts as well. So on Astro Supersport, like the matches, there are no scripts. It's just like
Mm-mm.
your own mind, your own tongue, your own thoughts, your own voice.
Yeah.
But I did there's this competition called the Copa America.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a 2011 Copa America. Was it 2011? Yeah, it should be. So this is just for South American teams.
Okay.
It's like the Euro, like the World Cup, but only for South America. So Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, and all of that. And I had never done a match, a serious match where I had to wear the suit. And I just joined Supersport, literally just joined. I was
Right.
doing football overload mainly, and I hadn't even started that. So they threw me in and did a match because they knew I wanted to do it. And I was bad. I was really not good. It was terrible, but I had no guidance at that point.
Right.
So there was one guy, he's sort of like former like EP of arena consultant, very
Mm-hmm.
knowledgeable though, from England. So he's been in
Ooh.
Malaysia for a long time, in Singapore. And he said, I'll never make it.
He said it
So
to
I was like,
you?
all right. Yeah, he said, oh, I don't think you're good enough. I don't think you'll make it. I said, fair enough. And I said, well, I don't have any guidance. So why don't you give me some tips? So Des, for a very long time, either via message, I think this is before WhatsApp, maybe WhatsApp, I can't remember, but he sent me a
Mm-hmm.
message or emails, and I just applied what he told me. And there were a few of us all trying to compete to trying to get more matches, because there was the main host, which was Jason, who was also
Yeah.
the EP, and he was giving us opportunities. So I was doing the late game on a Saturday only, just one game a week, and would use that time to really own my craft and try to get better. And this was all during my 20s.
And when he said that to you, when he said, I don't think you ever make it, would you say that's also somewhat a contributing factor to where you are right now?
Yeah, definitely. Without that, I don't think I'll be where I am right now. I mean, it's very easy to rest in your laurels and say, oh, I posted a live match, I've done this, I've
Yeah,
done
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But I think it's hard work. Obviously, I think you have to have some form of talent, but
Yeah.
hard work trumps talent. But a
Yeah.
combination of the two is unstoppable.